Hello everyone, welcome back. So as you know, we are continuing with the videos of RBI Grade B Officers Examination Phase 2. In the earlier videos, we have discussed the previous questions. So in this video, we will be discussing from question number 91. Let's start with it. Which of the following implies that while all countries should take sustainable development actions, the developed countries have to take the leading role in environmental protection? Number one, quantitative restriction. Number two, tariff barrier. Number three, official development assistance. Number four, common but differentiated responsibilities. And number five is all of the above. The correct option to this is common but differentiated responsibilities. And we'll come to the discussion of this answer as to why we are considering this basically. Common but differentiated responsibilities, which is the CBDR, is especially important for developing countries, as it implies that while all countries should take sustainable development actions, the developed countries have to take the leading role in environmental protection, as they have contributed the most to environmental problems. So this is why they have to be a very important part of it, and that is why the answer to this is common but differentiated responsibilities. Moving on to the next question, question number 92. On which of the following fronts did the Rio Plus 20 summit did not lead to any specific commitment? Rio 20 summit did not lead to any specific commitment. Green economy, fairness, sustainable development goals, finance and technology, and both 2 and 4. So we all know that the answer to this is finance and technology. If you read to the details of the objectives or the results that have been coming up with the summit, then you will come to know about the correct answer that finance and technology was not a part of it. The Rio summit did not lead to any specific commitments on the finance and technology front. The developed countries having obligations and responsibilities needed to commit to provision of adequate public funds, which included transfer for technology and capacity building to developing countries. There has been no mention of provision of new and additional financial resources by developed countries, something that India would have wanted to see. So accordingly, the answer to this is finance and technology. Moving on to the next question, question number 93. Question number 93, which we have is, which of the following statement is or are correct regarding Green Climate Fund? It is a fund within the framework of the UNFCCC. Regarding Green Climate Fund, it is a fund within the framework of UNFCCC, founded as a sole mechanism to assist advanced economies in curbing greenhouse gas emission. The second option we have is it is based in the new Songjo district of Icheon, South Korea. It is intended to be the centerpiece of efforts to raise climate finance of $100 billion a year by 2020. And we have a series of options for it, both A and B, both B and C, only A, only B, and both A and C, right? So the answer to this question number 93 is actually C. A is not the correct one. B and C, we can take that as correct one. It is based in the new Songdo district of Incheon, which is South Korea, and it is intended to centralize efforts of raising a finance of $100 billion a year by 2020, right? The Green Climate Fund, which is the GCF, is a fund within the framework of UNFCCC and founded as a mechanism to assist developing countries in adaptation and mitigation practices to counter climatic changes. It aims to support actually projects, programs, policies, and other activities in developing countries, parties using thematic funding windows. So accordingly, B and C is correct. So our answer is option number 2, which is both B and C. Right. Next, moving on to the next set of questions. Question number 94. Which of the following is a scheme for trading energy efficiency certificates in large energy intensive industries under the National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency? GST, PAT, RPO, GIRO or GIRO or CRE. The correct answer to this is PAT, which is the PAT. Now, talking of why this is PAT, the PAT, the full form of PAT, if anyone knows, is perform, achieve, trade. Perform, P for perform, A for achieve, and T for trade. It is a scheme for trading energy efficiency certificates in large energy intensive industries under the National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. The objectives for this were identified industries are required to improve their specifications or specific energy consumption, which is the SEC, within the specified period of 3 years or face penalty provisions. At the same time, this mechanism facilitated efficiency industries to trade their additional certified energy savings that usually go beyond the assigned target with other designated consumers who could use these certificates to comply with their SEC reduction targets. And another objective was there that in the 12th of 5-year plan of India, the PAT scheme was likely to achieve about 15 million tons oil equivalent of annual savings in coal, oil, gas, and electricity, including the 6.686 million ton of oil equivalent energy savings that was done in the first phase. So accordingly, the answer to this is PAT. I have already discussed the full form of PAT, that is perform, achieve, and trade. So next we move on to question number 95. Which of the following is a scheme for creating domestic markets for renewable energy through regulatory interventions at a state level? BOT, PPP, RPO, PAT, or MAT? The answer to this is option number 3, that is RPO. RPO, which is the full form of RPO, is Renewable Purchase Obligation. It is creating domestic markets for renewable energy through regulatory interventions at a state level. The RPO is the minimum level of renewable energy out of the total consumption. The obligated entities are entitled to purchase in the area of a distribution license. The obligation is mandated or mandatory by the State Regulatory Commission, that is a State Electricity Regulatory Commission, that is the SERC. Since the renewable energy resources are not evenly spread across India, SERCs cannot specify a linear level of RPOs for all the states. Also, renewable energy certificates, that is the RECs, under the RPO mechanism is an instrument that enables the obligated entities to meet the renewable purchase obligation by trading surplus or deficit RECs among themselves within the owner of the REC, being able to claim to have purchased renewable energy. So accordingly, I have given you a lot of information based on this. But coming to the brief discussion of this, the correct answer to question number 95 is RPO. Next, moving on to question number 96. As per the joint announcement on climatic change by the United States and China, the US intends to achieve an economic-wide target of reduction its emission by 26 to 28% below its 2005 level in which year? 2018, 2020, 2022, 2025, and 2030. So we have discussed a similar type of question previously also. The correct answer to this is option number 4, which is 2025. A major development attracting attention worldwide has been the joint announcement on climatic change by the United States of America and China, the world's two largest emitters, in November 2014. As per this announcement, the United States intends to achieve the economy-wide target of reducing its emission by 26 to 28% below its 2005 level by the year 2025, and to make best efforts to reduce its emission by 28%. Talking of China, China intends to achieve the peaking of carbon dioxide emissions around 2030 and to make best efforts to peak early, and intends to increase the share of non-fossil fuels in primary energy consumption to around 20% by 2030. This has great political significance in the run-up to the post of 2015 climatic change agreement. The announcement is expected to provide a boost to the renewable energy sector, which is affecting globally. Next, moving on to the next question, question number 97. As per the data of Center for Science and Environment and IPCC ARC5, what is India's contribution in percentage terms to cumulative global carbon dioxide during 1850 to 2011? 2.2, 2.8, 3.3, 7.4, or 0.9 percentage. Now, for this answer, you have to definitely go through the statistics of it. India's contribution to cumulative global carbon dioxide in the year 1850 to 2011 is a meager 2.8%, as against 21% by the USA and 18% by the EU. So we are running at 28% up till 2015. So option number 2 is the correct answer, that is 2.8%. So we'll mark this answer as the correct one, and then moving on to question number 98. Which of the following in India's national implementation entity, that is the NIE, with the adaptation fund created under the UNFCC? RBI, NABARD, SIDBI, SBI, or SIB? So the correct answer to this is, everyone knows, that is NABARD. Okay, we'll mark this answer and I'll go to the explanation. Yes, it is NABARD. Now, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, which is the full form of NABARD, in India's national implementing entity for adaptation fund, was created under the UNFCCC. At present, NABARD is the only NIE in the Asia Pacific region. In its capacity as NIE, NABARD has generated several feasible proposals on climatic change adaptation, 5 of which amounting to US $7.3 million, and have been submitted to the adaptation fund. The correct answer, I've given you insight of it, but the correct answer, to be very specific, is NABARD. Moving on to question number 99. Ecological footprint means, what is the meaning of ecological footprint? Habitat loss suffered on account of development, pressure exerted by human activities on ecosystem, the evidence of ecological destruction in the past, impact of greenhouse gas emissions on biodiversity, or the fifth option is both 2 and 3. So the answer to this is option number 2, which is pressure exerted by human activities on ecosystem. Coming to the explanation on this, planetary boundaries in terms of sustainable development can be understood in terms of ecological footprint, which is suggestive of the pressure human activities put on these ecosystems, which when compared to the biocapacity, it will, if we talk about this biodiversity, it tells us if we are running in surplus or we are running in the deficit. So the correct answer to this is pressure exerted by human activities on the ecosystem. Right? So next, moving on to question number 100. Which of the following statements regarding biocapacity is or are correct? It is spread evenly around the world. Low-income countries have the largest footprint. Low-income countries suffered the greatest economic losses. And we have the series codes, only A, both B and C, only C, both A and B, or only B. Now, the answer to this is C, A and B both are incorrect. Okay, so we have the only option left with C, that is low-income countries suffer the greatest ecosystem losses. We all will agree to this. So the answer to 100 question is option number 3, which is only C. Next, moving on to question number 101. As per a McKinsey report, the population of Indian cities will increase from 340 million in 2008 to 590 million by which year? 2020, 2024, 2027, 2030, and 2033. So for this also you have to go through the years and details thoroughly. So accordingly, it was said it was by 2030. As per McKinsey report, India is at the threshold of an urban flare-up. The population of Indian cities will increase from 340 million in 2008 to 590 million by 2030. In the 2030s, India's largest cities will be bigger than many major countries itself. As population increases, demand for every key service will increase 5 to 7-fold. These trends, combined with the current challenges of poverty eradication, food and energy security, urban waste management, water scarcity, pollution, will put further pressure on our limited resources, which will add to greater energy needs and lead to increase in emissions if further decoupling doesn't take place. So the correct answer to question number 101 is option number 4, which is 2030. Moving on to the last question, that is 102. With reference to India's stand on climate change issues, which of the following demands has or has not been made by India? Historical responsibilities of developed countries, equal weightage has to be given to adaptation, the responsibility of providing financial assistance to the developing countries lies with the developed countries. And we have 5 options, that is only A, both A and C, only C, both B and C, and only B. So this, I think everyone will agree with option number A to be the only correct one. Right, this has not been made by India. Historical responsibilities of developed countries and equity in excess of global atmospheric resources should not continue to be the basis of defining mitigation commitments. So only A, that is option number 1, is only the correct answer to our question number 102. So with this, I'm concluding the videos for the question discussion pattern. And I hope I have discussed all the answers thoroughly and you have got correct explanations and insight to it. So I will wish you all the very best for your exam. So if you want future reference, you can also refer to the previous videos which I have given regarding these questions. So all the best for your exams. I hope you crack it and keep watching the videos. Thank you so much.